today we'll be covering trends, market trends. You know, we have two major types of trend. We have uptrend and we have downtrend, right? Let me write it down. Uptrend and we have a downtrend. We have another one which is consolidation or ranging market. Okay, but as a beginner trader, you don't have to trade ranging markets. All you need is uptrend and downtrend. Be able to identify a downtrend, be able to identify an uptrend, be able to know how to, take them. That's all I am here to help you with. So, for instance, we have an uptrend. So, an example of an uptrend is when market is moving towards the upside. But mind you, you can never see price moving like this in the market. You can never see price moving like this. It's not possible, right? In as much as even though it's going towards this side, but you can never see price going like this without changing direction for a minute. Okay, so that's why you see price giving us something like this. So when you see something like this happening, just know that price is trending up towards the upside. Now the question should be, how do we know a valid trend? If it's an uptrend, how do we know it's a valid uptrend? Right? So that's when you study pullbacks. And what is the pullback? The pullbacks are those corrections that happen in the market when price is trending, be it uptrend, be it downtrend. Those corrections that happens in the market when price is moving. Like for instance, the overall trend of this market is uptrend, right? But then we're seeing some small push downs. Can see this, can see this, can see this market when you're moving in the opposite direction. So we'll call those opposite movements. We call them what? Pullbacks. This is a pullback, this is a pullback, this is a pullback. And the reason for this is for price to be able to gain enough momentum to make another high, right? All right, let me show you something. We have lows, we have highs, right? The low is this. The low is this, and this. This is the low. The highs are those highs market is making in the market. The price is making in the market. Sorry, that's what we call what the highs. So these are the highs and the lows of the market. So the pullback will have this pullback in the market just for price to be able to gain enough momentum to move to the other side. So for in a mission for this pullback to happen, the correction is also happening at the same time, right? So that's why we have something like this. Have correction, have correction, have correction, but then price is still moving towards the other side. So here we have to identify this trend, we have higher highs, which is the high. Remember, this is high. Okay, let me explain it better. Now, this is the high of this market. This is the first high of the market, right? This is the first high. But because price is an uptrend and price wants to move, make another move, this is the correction, which is also the pullback, right? Okay, let me bring it up. This is the correction and also a pullback. What's going on? So this is the correction and also is also a pullback, right? So here price has gotten to this level and it wants to make another high. So the high that price is going to make, the new high price is going to make, we'll call it what? A higher high. Because this high that is about to happen, this high, this very high is higher than this. So we'll call it what? Higher high. And this is what? A low. So this low is about to make another low. We'll call it what? Higher low. Right? So higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. right? So this is how to identify a valid market trend. A valid market trend, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So that is that for an uptrend. Then for a downtrend, just an opposite of this. So for a downtrend, we have lower low, price giving us, remember this is our first low, right? And price is giving us what? Or let me say this is our first high and price this is our first low, right? So price is giving us what? It's making a new high here, but it's lower than this high. So therefore we'll call it what? Lower high. Take notes. Let me just take note of this. And let me just use H. So identify that. This is a new our high and this is our low. This is our low, right? Now, because price wants to make a new high, but this new high here is lower than this, right? We call it what? Lower low. So I wanted to know why we'll name it lower low, lower high, and all of that. So we'll call it what? Lower high. This becomes our lower high, right? And price broke this low, giving us a new low, right? And this place does what? Becomes what? Our what? Lower low. This place becomes our lower low. So it's very simple to identify lows and highs of the market. This place becomes what? Our lower low. So like that, we'll have another lower high. Remember, if for that trend to be valid, it will not break the recent high or the previous high, right? So for this trend to be valid, it has to come somewhere here and make a pullback. It has already made a pullback, then continue to the other side, which is the main trend, giving us what? Lower low, lower high, lower low, right? So this is how to identify trends, uptrend and downtrend. Now, as a beginner trader, even as a pro trader, like me myself, I trade only trends. When I see the overall trend of the market, the main direction of the market, that's when I trade. I don't trade when market is consolidating. I mean, when market is ranging. That's what we call consolidation. So the consolidating part is, or the ranging part is when market is not trending upward, it's not trending downward. Just giving us something like this, right? It's giving us something like this, giving us something like. So you cannot say price is uptrend. You can't say price is downtrend. If you look at this, you see that price. This is relative equal high. Okay, relative what? Equal low. So you can't say price is trending upward, you can't say it's trending downward. So if you're not an experienced trader, you're advised to stay clear from this so you don't lose your account, right? So why I'm doing this, yeah, I know we have a lot of contents out there on YouTube, right? But why I'm doing this is for you. I'm doing it for free. Just watch, comment, ask your questions if you have any question, then share to your fellow traders who you think they really need this, right? So why I'm doing this is for you. That money would have been used to buy courses. Just save it up and use it and trade whenever you are ready. Whenever you think you are mature enough to trade live account, you can put that money in your live account and trade live account instead of using it to pay for mentorship, and at the end you won't have money for your trades like to go live. So you just save the money up, learn this. Once you are okay with this, do what? You fund your account with that money you would have used for your mentorship and start trading live and making your money, right? So this is how to identify a downtrend, an uptrend, and a ranging market. So in our next trade, I'll be showing you how to mark out a valid pullback, or how to know valid pullbacks, how to know, corrections, impulse, all those things. In our next video, I don't want this video to be too long, so in our next video, I'll be showing you how to know pullbacks, how to know valid pullbacks, how to know corrections, when to trade, how to hop in, all those things. Just stay tuned, right? So if you have any questions so far, you can drop it on the comment section and I will take care of that. Then if you have any video for intermediate traders, if you have any video that you think I can do for you, or maybe you want me to explain a particular thing, a particular concept, using a video, I can do that, right? Okay. When you go to the charts, for instance, we have uptrend and downtrend, right? So now let's figure out what is happening here, how to know a valid trend and the one that is not valid. Okay. Also, whenever you are checking any trend, make sure you use the higher time frame. The higher time frame will always win the lower time frame. When you go to the lower time frame, you might be confused. You won't know the exact trend, the market trend. So the best way is for you to use the higher trend, use higher time frame, which is 4 hours, 2 hours. But I usually use 4 hours for my to identify my trends, right? So let's say, for instance, we are here. If you look at this already, you know the trend of this market. We are on gold. This is gold, right? When you look at this, we see the trend of this market. Market is trending what? Upwards. Market is trending upward. And if you look at this, you see what we just explained: higher high, higher low, 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 right? You can see the pullbacks, you can see the momentum, market building up. Now we have relative equal high here, but price came down here, grabbed liquidity. I'm going to explain that in our next class, right? So in our next class, I'll be explaining more on the trends, all these pullbacks, how to know a valid pullback, and how to trade them. Okay, so that's for uptrend. Then for a downtrend, we might not really see much of downtrend there, because this particular trade, this particular pair, gold, has been on a serious uptrend for years now. Okay, but just for an example, you can look at this. Let's, for instance, we have higher high, sorry, lower high, lower low, right? Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. This is an example of a downtrend. Now, in our next class, I'll be showing you how to know when the trend changes direction. Say, for instance, that we have markets or price buying giving us higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Now this was the last high, right? Then price now changed direction to begin to sell towards the downside, right? So in our next class, I'll be showing you how to explain or how to identify a valid market structure shift. In our next class, I'll be showing you that. So I don't want this class to be too long, so that's why I'll not be putting out everything here. Okay, so in the next class, I'll be explaining that in a better way, so for you to follow up. So if you have any questions, just drop it on the comment section, and I'll see you in the next class. Bye.